The Game Awards predictions. All right. So it will happen on December 1st at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time and 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Is this being streamed on Twitch again?
Yeah. It's like all over the internet, man. It's like Twitter, Facebook. It's like everywhere. So really, if you're like on the internet and you're like following game news, you will probably see a stream pop up everywhere. So it's also 2:30 on December 2nd. European time, so if you're European, you can check it out. Then I will probably stay up because I'm from the Netherlands, so I will have to be on like 2:30. We'll probably do that because I'm super interested to see what they will have, and it's also like a good show. 2 hours, some nominees, but also like new gameplay, new things, and we already know some things that will happen. There are some rumors. So Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay will be shown, as far as we know. So of course we saw the cool trailer on the N7 day, but now we will finally see gameplay, because at the PlayStation 4 Pro reveal event we saw gameplay, but it was not that exciting, and hopefully they will show some things that we come to expect from a Mass Effect game. So that will be cool. And Telltale Games is always there, like every year almost. So now they will, I mean, last year they had the Batman game, now they will probably announce or Guardians of the Galaxy. That's rumored to be happening, and The Walking Dead Season 3, probably something from Telltale Games. One thing that is important to note is that this year there will be more like gameplay demos. That's what Jeff Keighley said, of course, the like host of this show. He's like doing all this sort of stuff. He wants developers to be more transparent, and I think that this is like a bitch clap in the face of No Man's Sky, Hello Games, of course, because they made a pretty big deal out of Hello Games. Last year, I think it was there as well. They showed some new footage, and that didn't live up to the hype. So now they want more transparency, so we will see that probably. Okay, my first prediction is new South Park gameplay. So South Park The Fractured Butthole, and we will have the new release date because, it was delayed from December to 2017. We don't know when it's coming out, but hopefully they will have a new release date. But because it should still like release in the first quarter of 2017. So should be right around the corner, but when, we don't know. And I think that some new gameplay, because right now we just have some tidbits, and we of course have like the gameplay. I played it at E3 or at Gamescom. It was at Gamescom, and tried it. It was fun, but this was like the thing that we all saw. But now maybe we can see some things that are later on in the game or something like that. I think that would be super awesome, and I think that would fit the show.
Yeah, I mean, South Park is something that definitely is going to release very soon, and I mean, it's one of those things that I look forward to, but I kind of don't at the same time. Like, I played a little bit of the first game, this new one, I don't think I'm going to like the combat style. I wish they would have just kept it the same. But I understand what they're trying to do with it. They're trying to switch it up every single time. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to the new gameplay. It's probably going to be very funny. It's South Park. This whole season has been just hilarious. So yeah.
I haven't watched any episode yet, but I heard it as well that it's pretty good. So
it's amazing.
Cool. Because I love the first game, Stick of Truth, of course, and that will also release on PS4 and Xbox One as part of this pre-order bonus or something like that. Anyway, this new game, I can't wait. I loved what I played, and I think it's also like a good fit for this show to have a little bit of humor here and there and make everyone laugh. I think that would be pretty cool. And Ubisoft is normally there as well. So what game could they show? They have For Honor, they have Ghost Recon, and South Park coming out soon. So South Park, I think, is the safe bet.
Yep.
Let's move over to, of course, the PlayStation experience is like happening a few days after the Game Awards on December 3rd. Sony will have their press conference. Microsoft, they also want to have like some spotlight on them. So I think that they will have something at the Game Awards as well. Last year they had Quantum Break. So hopefully now they will show some new Crackdown gameplay maybe, because Crackdown was like absent from the E3, and that game, of course, last year's E3 was like pretty huge, and they should have like a multiplayer beta this year, but we haven't heard anything about that. So I hope they will show something about Crackdown, because if we look at their upcoming Xbox One games, it's like Halo Wars 2, some indies like Cuphead, they all look cool. And they of course have that Sea of Thieves rare game, but nothing is from the caliber Horizon, God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man. So hopefully they will have some huge caliber game at the Game Awards, and the only game that I can really think of is Crackdown, and yeah, that's still nowhere near Horizon, but yeah.
It would at least be something. I really hope that if they do show something, it's something new that we haven't seen before, and it's something interesting. Crackdown, I think, puts a lot of people to sleep. From what I don't really see a lot of hype and a lot of buzz around it. It looks impressive at some points, but it also looks like a game that will look impressive, but also be as shallow as a puddle at the same time. Like once the thrill wears off, you're just gonna be bored all the hell. And so, I don't know. Maybe they'll show some gameplay for it that will actually entice me to think otherwise, but I don't think that would be the case. And I have a feeling they won't even show it at the Game Awards show. I think that they're going to show something else that we don't even know.
Okay, I hope that that's the case, because Microsoft, the next time they will have some like secret announcements or like some unveils of new games will be E3. So that's like a half a year between it. So they have probably some time to like release something now, and then at E3 they will probably have way more as well. So
yeah, because the way I look at it is, what do they really have? Like
nothing
right now.
I just named it. Yeah, it was like some games that will probably struggle to sell 1 million. I'm like serious. Halo Wars 2 will have its niche audience. We have Scalebound, that will not sell a lot of copies. We have Sea of Thieves, that will be not even a full game, like not $60. So it doesn't look like a $60 game as well. So they have that, and like some indies and Crackdown, and that's about it. That's really it. Last year they of course had Gears and Quantum Break in the future, and now it looks like kind of bland. And that's why I'm also like interesting, what are you going to do with the Scorpio, man? And they really need, and hopefully we will get to this topic like in this show, but they really need new games, new IPs, and hopefully they're working on that, because Gears and Halo, as cool as it is, and those franchises are not what they are. What will we remember them to be? So they really need something new.
Yeah, what would be really cool, it's not going to happen at all. I mean, if it does, it'd be amazing. But I wish that Phil Spencer would just come out, reveal the Scorpio's true name, what the price is going to be, when exactly it's going to release. Hey, no, listen, hear me out. Okay. And announce what the price is going to be, and be like, stay tuned this E3, because we're going to show the best games lineup we've ever had. That's all gonna either be releasing around or on the date the Scorpio's coming out. Like, just come out with a bombshell like that and light up the internet. Because a lot of people watch this thing. Like, it's not a small thing. Like, sure, it's not the size of E3, but if he comes out with a bombshell, it's gonna spread like wildfire, and people are gonna know about it. So, I mean,
would be cool.
It would be really cool. I doubt it's gonna happen. I don't think that they have everything finalized yet to be able to do something like that. And it's still in the back of our minds, do they even have a games lineup that could perform that great at E3 just on its own? Because I can't think of a time, like maybe like a couple E3s ago, but I can't really think of a time where it was just all games and not a lot of talking. Like they just can't walk on stage like Sony did last year, and this year actually, and just drop a ton of games out there and not even talk more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think they can do that.
They're in a tough spot. I mean, they had like this press conference, and not a lot of people were excited about it because they showed a lot of third-party games. They had the worst Final Fantasy 15 demo. They had some not very exciting things to show, and then at the last minute they saved it a little bit with the Scorpio, because that was super interesting. But apart from that, it was like, oh, we have this Gwent card game as well, and it's also coming to PlayStation. But here we have it on our stage, and Halo Wars 2, and they of course have State of Decay 2. There's no real, I mean, of course I like the PlayStation more, and that's mostly because of the exclusive games and because of the enormous amount of studios that Sony has working on these games that everyone will see and say, whoa, I need this. And with Microsoft, they don't have one title in their lineup right now that has that. And then they have Quantum Break, and that didn't live up to expectations. Then they have Gears of War 4, and that was a game that played it really safe. That was just, a Gears of War, what you come to expect. With Horizon, a lot of people are excited about that because it's a new world, a new character, a new game from a studio that we know. Because they could have made Killzone 5, Killzone 4, and be fine with it, but they made a new IP, and that's what 343 and the Black Tusk and all these studios that Microsoft has, and they don't really have a lot. They really need something like that, and Minecraft might be that. I mean, Minecraft is still one of the biggest franchises in the world.
It's not a console. It's not a console seller though.
That's right.
And that's the sad thing.
Scorpio.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. It's not a console seller. It sells a lot, but it doesn't sell hardware exclusively. People just play it on their phones, they play it on their computer. They play it on wherever else you can get it. You can get it a lot of places, and that's about it. But yeah, and so I guess let's move on to your other predictions. I honestly just had one prediction, because of the fact that Jordan just covered most of what I would even say anyhow. So.
Yeah, I looked at all the things that were. I took all the things that were going to be out, because this is pretty. It's huge. Everyone is it's not like only PlayStation, so you can focus on one brand. It's like everything could happen. So
Yep.
It's touching a little bit in the dark. But so what do you what was your prediction then?
My prediction, I guess we can just go and hop into it right now, is Death Stranding gameplay. I think that we will finally see at least 5 minutes, maybe less, probably less, probably like 2 minutes of actual gameplay from this game. We'll know a little bit about what it is.
You remember our topic about that Kojima is planning to release this in 2018, and we were both like, no way, this is
but 2 minutes of gameplay, man. I mean, they can muster up 2 minutes of gameplay, because I mean, think about it, right? Kojima was barred from last year because Konami. So what would be better for him? I think him in the back of his mind, in some shape or form, because he did it with Sony, walking out on stage with a fancy ass intro, and then said like 2 words and then walked off stage, mic drop, and basically middle fingers up in the sky to Konami. What would be even better is if he shows up to the award show that he wasn't allowed to go to before and shows off Death Stranding as another double middle finger, and his mic drops again.
Yeah, but we have to be realistic though, because he wasn't going to the Game Awards like last year because he was still at Konami. So his studio is not even 1 year old.
Oh yeah. Like I mean,
have gameplay ready is ambitious, but
I agree
already. So
I agree, and that's the thing. But I don't know. I think that would be really awesome. And maybe even just an interview with Kojima. I think that might happen.
He will be there, because last year he was like, he wasn't going to go, and Jeff Keighley mentioned that during the show that the Konami lawyers didn't let him go to the event. Because they were afraid of what he was going to say, obviously. Now he's free. He will take his Icon of the Year award, something like that. So he will have his prize, and maybe he will have something. I mean, he's like a good friend with Jeff Keighley. So that's why I think this might happen. But on the other hand, don't you think that, for example, for Sony to show this at their E3 2017 press conference would be huge, right? That would be enormous.
It would,
to have
but
that first look at this game. Why would Sony give that away to a Game Awards show? I don't know.
Because it doesn't need to be something major. It could just be exactly sort of what Mass Effect Andromeda did initially with their initial gameplay, where it's just sort of walking around and showing a little bit, but not really enough to sink your teeth into type thing. Like sort of tease you a bit more and make you want to see more. That way people are even more eagerly anticipating it. all the way up until E3 of next year. So I mean, I see your point, but at the same time, and I definitely understand it's not realistic really at all. I would probably put about a 15% probability on it, and that 15% is just because everyone hates Konami, and they're both friends. And so for Konami to basically have that amount of sort of leeway, he's either going to get an interview or he's going to be focused on in some sort of way. That's just basically going to put him in the spotlight. Absolutely. So
yeah, hopefully he will be there like, oh, and I have something for you as well. That would be cool if he has that. And I mean, we have to be like, I mean, what I said, with more gameplay demos, developers need to be transparent with the gamers. If he's going to show another cinematic trailer, then yeah, that's all in the water. That's like a cool statement, but yeah. But on the other hand, I think Jeff Keighley, if Kojima is going to say, hey, I got a trailer for you, do you want to show it? He's not going to say, no, I only want gameplay.
They'll give him the Kojima pass because he was barred from last year, so he couldn't do anything.
And on the other hand, Kojima is known for creating like fantastic games.
So because a certain developer barred this particular guy from last year, we're gonna give him a pass and allow him to show off a cinematic trailer. Here's Kojima.
If they would go to show Metal Gear Survive.
Oh my god.
A new Metal Gear Survive trailer. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh my god. Metal Gear needs to die now. It's just... Oh my god.
It's sad. Okay, let's go to my other prediction.
Yes, please.
I think Nintendo needs to be here because last time, or like a few years ago, they had the first Zelda gameplay during the show. That was sick. They also showed some other games that we don't care about, but they also had Zelda gameplay. So they were probably like, okay, we have the Zelda gameplay, Jeff, but we need to talk about these other 3DS games that, yeah, we want that to show that as well. So they had like this, yeah, sort of Nintendo quarter in the show, and the first Zelda gameplay was there. So with the Switch coming out and their January 12th event, they are not talking about anything before that event, it seems like. So I think it will not be Switch related. It will not be Switch related. I think it will be phone related, because of course they have Mario Run coming out on December 15th, their first huge mobile game. They of course had Miitomo, but it was more like a social app. This will be their first game, and yeah, to push it a little bit again to the gamers would be cool, because I think that gamers will sell this game, that they will play it and then they will show it to their mom or to their friends, and they will be like, huh, whoa, Mario's on your phone, wait, let me get it as well. So I think we will have some new Mario Run love. Maybe they'll play it on stage, have a good time, and yeah, I think it will totally happen.
I don't know if it will totally happen. I think it's in the realm of possibility, and I would be impressed if they actually did it, just because Nintendo needs to be more in tune with ways to get their product out there. They've been one of those companies that kind of seems like that old person that doesn't understand technology, and they don't utilize it at all, and they just don't know what the hell it is, and those young whippersnappers and their Twitters and their Facebooks and all these award shows, E3, what's that? It seems like they're the type of people that don't think that they need these shows when they really, really need these shows. Especially now. You want to get momentum going, either with the Switch or with your mobile market. And I think with Mario Run looking as good as it does, I saw a little bit of gameplay here and there of like random trailers that released. I am looking forward to playing it. It looks like an interesting title that I won't play a lot, but it's happened to be coming out at a time when I'm going to be traveling, so it might be a game that I sink 10-15 hours into. So
yeah, you can try it for free as well. And
exactly.
Just like a full game if you like it. So yeah,
exactly. So it's coming out during a time where a lot of people are going to be traveling. They're going to have some time to spare. They're going to be away from their main gaming centers, and as much as we all just want to be just with family the entire time, you're gonna have downtime during the holidays. So Mario Run could be a way to burn that time and have fun while doing that. So it would be very smart, but because it's so smart, I have a hard time believing Nintendo will actually do it at this point.
But
And
they have been on the at the Game Awards like
they
for
have,
many
they
years,
they
so,
have. So that gives me a little bit of hope. But
yeah, exactly. Okay.
but yeah, so that's why it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for me. But it still would be surprising. And if they do it, I'll be very happy. And the more good things they do, it's going to inch me closer to purchasing a Switch. So I hope that they're there, because that will inch me. Even though it's a mobile game, I don't care. It's just that the fact that they went to a freaking award show would just impress me all. It would just super impress me. So
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I totally agree. I think that will be the case. One thing that we can just, another prediction that, we can just go over like pretty fast. A new fighter for Injustice 2. I mean, they had some Mortal Kombat love, if I remember that correctly, like previous shows. And of course, Warner wants to do something at the show again as well. And they have this game coming, this fighting game. And yeah, that's of course cool to show some new fighters that are maybe exciting to a huge audience. So I think we will see a new fighter for Injustice 2. Then we will also have something from Sony, and this is weird because Sony will of course have their own press conference, but they haven't skipped a Game Awards, so that's interesting. Last year we saw a new character from Uncharted during the Game Awards, and then they later had the Uncharted 4 gameplay at the PlayStation Experience, where they for the first time showed like the different choices that you can say some things, and then the player or the character that you're talking with will react on the things you said. So hopefully, I mean, their next big title is obviously Horizon, and to have maybe an actor in there that a lot of people recognize, that would make sense. That we have this guy, this character as well. Maybe we'll see that, or they will just show some new gameplay. I think that would be the case. On the other hand, they have the PlayStation Experience, so why not show it there as well, right?
That's true. I think there's going to be something Sony related there. Horizon would make the most sense because it's the closest to completion at this point.
Yeah.
I would like to see God of War, but it's still out there. I mean, they could announce like a little bit of like gameplay, and then give a somewhat of a soft release date type thing, but it's way too far off. Yeah, I agree. And it's one of those things where it could be Horizon, it could be some other thing.
Detroit or something like that.
Detroit, exactly. They still haven't really said anything about Gran Turismo, right?
No, that
could be another thing as well. So there's a couple things that they could do. I think at this point though, with Horizon, they run the risk of overexposure.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Because it's another, I'm going to steal a term from one of my people who I talk with on Twitter, and a good YouTuber, Top Hats and Champagne. It's another sort of it's another action game with stealth elements that's third person. It's another game that people already sort of know what they're going to get with it. It could be compared to Uncharted, it could be compared to Tomb Raider to certain degrees. Yes, there's a lot of mechanical stuff that you go through, and it's open world and stuff like that. But in the open world, you're going to be doing a lot of the same things that you do in other open worlds. You're probably going to gather, you're probably going to go do side quests that involve killing things. And it's a game that if they reveal too much, it makes me fear that it might not be as amazing as everyone thinks it actually is. Maybe those particular moments that they show in the gameplay only happen periodically, and it's not something that is diverse. There's a lot of risks that runs with, and so it's possible that they'll show it, but they've showed it a lot already. So I think that something else deserves a spotlight.
It will be like a huge game for them to push. Obviously, they've been working on this for a very long time. It will be their first real new IP in the PS4 cycle, from a first-party studio, because Until Dawn was not from a first-party studio. So they of course had Bloodborne as well, but that was also not from a first-party studio. So they want to push this, and I agree that they can really go all. They can do too much, and I think at the PlayStation Experience, everyone knows this game. Everyone is going to buy that game. That's going to watch the PlayStation press conference. So maybe to choose we are going to show a little bit of new gameplay, because we saw in the trailer that she was also fighting against humans. So maybe show a little bit of that, so it's some diversion, and that will make a lot of sense. That would be cool, because although we saw a lot of trailers and gameplay already, you still don't know a lot about the game, from how is it going to progress and stuff like that. And I also, to be honest, I have to be like, I want to be a little bit hands off, because I know I'm gonna play it and I don't want to spoil myself like too much. So
of course,
maybe that's already out there, but I think that for a lot of people, they just think, okay, this is a cool world, want to explore it, but that extra push, and then at the Game Awards to also have a little bit of a middle finger to Microsoft, saying, wait, we got this coming. Maybe if Microsoft will do something crazy, then they will have Horizon to fight it, but will be interesting. I think Sony will be there in some form, but how will be super interesting to watch.